is YouTube 1.0 and the platform has evolved, right? I could break it down for you, but why bother? Hint, viewers are spending nearly an hour per watch session watching our content. We are, in the ways that matter, more pertinent than ever. Holy delusion. Yikes. As per Sound Mojo, again, think of 2012 when the vocal minority whined and then we got the last laugh. Then they sign off with a mic drop. Haters, envious, jealous people are fuel to our fire. The reply right under it had a big giggle out of me. It says, "This is like the Ouija board speaking back." I thought that was a banger. Pretty stupid to respond to something they didn't even watch in the first place, and they just come across as like a bitter, delusional douchebag organization. What a dumb response. And again, they didn't watch the video, so they have like nothing to even like refute or even really dive in about. They just instead suck their own cock about like how long they've been around and how they were ahead of the curve. And actually, based on the data that matters, are more pertinent now than ever, which is just provably false. They are not. Unless they're going by like watch time metrics where they themselves are juicing it by auto-playing to bots or something, they are not as pertinent as ever. Anyone can look that up and see that that's just a full-blown lie. Maybe they're trying to like convince investors or something, I don't know, but it's not going to work on like sane people. It's just a really baffling decision because they didn't need to like respond to it or anything. And it's not like they're known for clapping back against people that make fun of them. It just feels so out of nowhere. So it is wacky, and I did want to yap about it because why? why do that? Maybe it is just like one person who has the password to the account that felt personally attacked by it. Maybe it's the owner. I don't know. But yeah, pretty silly. That's really about it. So, yeah.
Oh, already teaching them to customize and save with Liberty Mutual.
No. Math.
I'm not coming on Saturday. I'm strapped for cash.
You should sell some stuff on Depop. There's no...
All right, I am going to be blabbering about a company that I have disliked for a long time. PSA. I made a video a little over a month ago covering a PSA scandal when it came to a lenticular Pokemon card, a lenticular Deoxys, where, just to boil it down to the brass tacks here, getting it to its birthday suit, basically, someone had a very rare Pokemon card, a lenticular Deoxys, that was a 10, a PSA 10, but it was an old cert and they were looking to have it reholdered so they could turn and sell it. They had interested buyers, and this was a very expensive card. PSA themselves had even sold this exact card for $45,000 very recently. Well, when this customer went to have the card reholdered, PSA damaged it, bringing it down numerous grades and tanking its value, which means they could now no longer sell it for a potentially life-changing amount of money. And upon this fuck-up, PSA offered to give them $20,000 for their mistake, which is less than half of what PSA had sold that exact card for earlier. There was also the stipulation that PSA baked in and made known to this customer that they had just face-fucked, that if they accept that $20,000 lowball from PSA for what they called fair market value, which is based on basically nothing, they pulled it out of their ass. Because again, they themselves had even sold this exact card for $45,000, yet they're only offering this guy $20K after destroying the card. But anyway, the stipulation that they also had in place is that if they do accept that offer, they have to sign an NDA. So that way, he can't speak about it. It has to be hush hush. Gotta bury it. Which most people found to be very sketchy, very odd. The whole thing was peculiar. If you want to get caught up on that, the video's up on my channel. But the point is, I have been really glued to PSA and its scandals for a little while, and I've been digging deep into PSA recently because it is just so much more fascinatingly odd that it is still as big as it is. It is the biggest in the card grading space by a mile, and I don't think it should be at all. To me, PSA is fucked up. I think it is shady beyond belief, and I don't know why card collectors still keep choosing to go to PSA to grade their cards, and I don't know why their slabs are the ones that have the highest price tag associated with them. I think there is so much going on under the hood here, with so much evidence and so many scandals out there, that I would be taking my business pretty much anywhere else besides PSA. So I was yapping about it on stream the other night. I'll show you some clips there, but I also want to dive a bit deeper into the topic as well. Oh yeah, I was watching some stuff on PSA. I have been so glued to everything that's been going wrong in the TCG community. I've always hated PSA. I've spit on them a lot over the years, but I didn't even realize just how deeply corrupt the company was. Like, it's bad, and I've always known it's bad, but it's much worse than I thought.
PZPTCG on X.
No, you're thinking of a different thing. That was the lenticular. That was a more recent PSA scandal with the potential swap. I'll sum it up. The buyback scandal is it started here, really. A user realized that their 9s that PSA had bought back from them, he checked the cert and saw that they had actually got regraded to a 10. So, to break it down, PSA has a system where they make offers, where they will offer to buy back some of your cards. So they graded his cards at a 9, and then made an offer to buy the cards at a 9 at that value. And then they turned around and apparently regraded those 9s to a 10, and PSA sells these cards. PSA sells their cards. So like with the lenticular that I talked about, they sold a card for $45,000. So they actively engage in this market. So they have a huge incentive, a big conflict of interest, to lowball grades, make an offer, get the cards back for cheap, up the grade so they can sell it for more. So they double dip. You pay for the grading. And then they also have an upcharge. So if your card grades high and it's a very valuable card, they will charge you more, even though it doesn't take more work for them. So if you have a card, like a really valuable card,
Hold on, bro.
like let's say it grades and it's a card that's worth, fucking $250,000 is what it is. So you have like a base set
super rare
to PSA
card,
10 Charizard,
graded.
first edition.
So they sent it to PSA.
They will upcharge you $10,000
like a 9, but
for that grade,
PSA
even though it didn't take them anything else to do. It didn't cost them more money to grade it. So if your card is more valuable, they charge you more for that. Now, just to really twist on your nipples here, the reasoning they give for the upcharge that the community has swallowed with a smile on their face is like, oh, it gets insured for that amount. And we look at the value of the card, so, it makes sense. It's to protect you, the customer. But there are so many obvious problems with this. The most obvious is not everyone that's grading cards is looking to immediately turn around and sell them. So let's say you send in a card that you really like, and it grades at a 10, and it's a really valuable card. You might not have any intention of selling that card, but it's very valuable, and now PSA is going to upcharge you hundreds, potentially thousands of dollars to get that card back. It's basically holding it ransom at that point. You can get your card back if you say, like, no, I'm not paying that. They'll send it back to you ungraded, but if you want the grade, which you sent it to them for, so I presume you want it, in order to get it, you have to pay that upcharge because that's the value and that's their policy. They upcharge you because it's to protect you with this insurance. But there's plenty of YouTubers that have gone over why this is a bit of a baloney souffle that they're serving you with that garbage. But the community has bent over for it, and it has become normalized at PSA. I think it is completely unacceptable. It doesn't take more work for PSA to grade higher value cards. The work is still the same, or at least it should be. It should be consistent no matter what the card is. There's no reason for this upcharge. There are plenty of other ways of protecting you, the customer. This one is just extraordinarily greedy, and it's not good for just normal people. Because, again, if you aren't looking to immediately sell that card at that value right away, you're just forking over a ton of clams just to get your card back in order to appreciate it in your collection. And here's another huge problem, one I also talked about on stream, but I'll just go ahead and reiterate it here. I'll just fucking fart it all out again instead of just show you the clips. Let's say you get a card graded, it grades at a 10, it's extremely expensive, now you pay $1,000 upcharge to PSA to get the card back, and you want to hold on to it for a little while, hoping that it goes up over time. But instead it fucking plummets. Like, let's say you send them a sports card, and by the way, sports card collectors don't take PSA seriously anymore because of just how egregious their absurdity is. But let's say you have a sports card, it grades high. Right now, it's worth thousands of dollars, so you have this upcharge, but then that player just fucking flops. Or maybe they get arrested or something. Like, maybe you get a Wander Franco card or something. So now the value fucking eats shit, it's in the gutter, spiraling the toilet, and it's not worth what it was a few months ago when you got it graded. Well, you paid a $1,000 upcharge at that price at the time, and now it's basically worthless. PSA doesn't refund you that, by the way. So now you lost even more money sending it to them to get graded and paying the upcharge. Like, it's just, I think it's a terrible system. It has so many...
That was 10 minutes. That was 10 minutes.